Hello. Glory to Ukraine. The 273rd day of the heroic resistance of the Ukrainian people to a Russian military large-scale invasion continues. During the day, the Russian occupiers inflicted a massive strikes on the objects of the energy infrastructure of Ukraine. According to preliminary information, up to 65 kh, 101 cruise missiles were used, 51 of which were shot down by the defense forces of Ukraine. Residential buildings and combined heat and power (CHPs), thermal power stations (TPPs), and substations in the city of Kiev, Vinnytsia, Lviv, and Zaporizhia oblasts were hit. The information is being clarified. In addition, this night the enemy launched 2 missile strikes on the Zaporizhia Oblast and launched 5 MLRS attacks on the positions of our troops. In the Volyn and Polisia directions, the situation has not changed significantly, and no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups have been detected. On the Siversky direction, the enemy shelled the area of the settlement of Kustyn, Sumy Oblast, with rocket salvo systems. In the Slobozansky direction, in the border areas of the Belgorod region, the enemy continues to hold units of his troops for demonstration actions, periodically shelling the positions of our troops, as well as settlements in the Kharkiv Oblast near the state border of Ukraine. The enemy is defending in the Kupiansk and Lyman directions. Fires from tanks, mortars, and barrel artillery, in particular, in the areas of the settlements of Kislivka, Krogman, and Berestov in the Kharkiv Oblast and Makiivka and Bilovorivka in the Luhansk Oblast. In the Bakhmut and Avdiivka areas, the enemy is concentrating its main efforts on conducting offensive operations. Fired tanks, mortars, barrel and jet artillery at objects in the areas of Bakhmutsk, Klishchivka, Zelenopilia, Avdiivka, Vadiane, Pervomaisk, and Nevelsk settlements. The enemy is on the defensive in the Novopavlivka and Zaporizhia directions. Areas of about 10 settlements were affected by the enemy's artillery fire. The occupiers are conducting a positional defense in the Kryvyi Rih and Kherson directions. Barrel and rocket artillery were used to shell the settlements of Maryivka in the Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Kherson, Tokarivka, Antonivka, and Dniprovsk in the Kherson Oblast. The enemy continues to suffer losses. So, over the past few days, more than 30 seriously wounded servicemen from the northwestern outskirts of the city. In the temporarily occupied territory of the Luhansk Oblast, the occupiers continue to forcibly resettle pro-Ukrainian residents. So, under the pretext of counter-subversive actions, during the past week, about 20 local farmers were taken from the settlements of Deniznikovo and Stormov in the Luhansk Oblast. It has been confirmed that the defense forces destroyed the enemy's manpower and military equipment in the previous days. Thus, in the Luhansk Oblast, an ammunition depot was hit, about 50 occupants were killed and up to 50 were wounded. In the Zaporizhia Oblast, the enemy lost up to 15 people killed and up to 20 wounded. During the current day, our aviation made 4 strikes, 3 on areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment of the enemy, and 1 on the position of an anti-aircraft missile complex. Soldiers of rocket troops and artillery, at the same time, struck the area of concentration of personnel and anti-tank missiles of the enemy and the position of the air defense system of the occupiers. I believe in the armed forces. Together we will win. Glory to Ukraine. Let's keep in touch.